Congratulations, evaluation speech contestants. I am so glad that you made it to the district level contest because you get to have me, Chris Poole, as your contest host master. We will have a contestant briefing prior to the actual speech contest on Friday, April 6th. April 26th, but I wanted to make this video to share a majority of the information ahead of time. That way we are not going to rush the day of the contest. I ask that you do review this video, write down any questions that you may have so they can be addressed at the briefing at the day of the contest. At that time, we will also determine the speaking order for the contest, and I will confirm the pronunciation of your name. All contestants in both the evaluation and international speech contest will be recorded by the district. No other recording or picture taking is allowed unless specific permission has been granted by the chief judge, who is Judy Bauer, or our contest chair, who is program quality director Robert Wall. There will be time after each contest for picture taking. The evaluation contest, it is hybrid at the district level contest. And we actually do have a nice mix of contestants who are presenting online and in person. The judges will also be a mix of in person and online. For those of you here in the evaluation contest, this is the end of the line for you for this year. The district level is the highest you can go. Hopefully, by this point, all of you are familiar with the speech contest rulebook. This rulebook is the ultimate resource for all contest-related issues. If you have not yet read the contest rulebook, please take time before April 26th. I have emailed it out to all of you before, and I will probably include it in on the email where I give you the link for this video. It is the rulebook from July 1st through 2023 through June 30th, 2024, and it has a revision date of January 2023. For our evaluation contests, you should technically use the official Evaluation Contestants Notes item number 1177, or you can just use a blank sheet of paper. When you go in to listen to the test speaker, you can use this official contestant note paper or your own blank paper. You just cannot have any information pre-written on the sheet. And yes, you can use multiple sheets. You can use the front and back, whatever is going to work for you. Take your notes, whatever you need as that speaker is talking. And then at the end of the test speaker's time, you will be taken out with a sergeant at arms to either another room within the hotel or to a breakout room if you are online. You will have 5 minutes to write down and prepare your evaluation. When the 5 minutes is up, if you are in person, the sergeant at arms is actually going to collect your paperwork. So make sure your name is on the sheet or sheets that you give the person. When you are online, I ask that you flip the paper over, cover it up. You cannot be looking at the notes once those 5 minutes are done. Normally what I ask, and when I've been sergeant at arms for an online contest such as this, I just ask you, just kind of lean back, keep your hands up by your chin. Sometimes I'll just close my eyes and think about what I want to say. You just cannot refer back to your written notes. Whether you are in person or online, no electronic devices can be used. When it is your turn to come up to the stage to speak, your notes will be returned back to you if you are in person, or if you are online, you can flip them over and use them during your actual evaluation that you give. It is optional if you want to refer to your notes at all. At this level, you should pretty much all be familiar with the timing of the evaluation contest. All of you as contestants will watch and listen to the test speaker. The test speaker has a time frame of 5 to 7 minutes. Again, you are allowed to take notes during their presentation. You'll be removed from the main room. For that 5 minutes, you come back in. When you come back into the main room, you will be brought in during the minute of silence. Please stay silent yourself until you are actually addressed, because I will, as the contest master, I will wait for that minute of silence from the prior contestant to elapse. Then I will welcome you to the stage. If you are an in-person contestant, I will call you to the stage by name. I will then confirm your audio and your recording. Everything is sounding technically correct with our tech masters. If you are an online contestant, when you return from that breakout room to the main room, turn your audio on, your camera on, but stay silent until I ask for you to confirm your video and audio. And also, if you can see the timer, we'll ask the online timer to raise their hand electronically. That should position the timer in your upper left corner of your screen. In-person contestants, I am not sure where the timer in the room will be set up in relationship to the stage. We will note that and find out the date of the contest. We're in our in-person contestant briefing. Once we have those technical logistics completed, then I will actually introduce you by your name, and then I will repeat your name again. Once I have done this, you as that contestant, the first overt gesture you make, the first words that you say, that is when your timing will begin. For those of you who are online, if your first words are, oh, wait, I'm not ready actually, I can't find the timer, your time has already begun. Make sure everything is set up before I give you your introduction. Once you've finished your evaluation, you can stay here in the main room, or if you're online, you stay in that main room. So those of you who speak earlier can listen to all the later contestants, which can be good and bad. If you are the last contestant, you will obviously not have heard any of the other contestants. The timer will have the normal timer background up when your speech begins. Let me pull that up as an example for you. In person, I'm not exactly sure at this point what the lights will look like. I know that there will be an actual electronic timing device, but I'm not sure how where it's going to be placed yet. But when you begin your speech, you'll have just that blank background behind you. When you meet the 2-minute mark, your green will be shown and it will remain up until the 2.5-minute mark. Then yellow will be shown, and that will remain up until the 3-minute mark, and then red will be shown until you have finished. No other notice will be given to indicate that you have gone over time. Once you have completed your evaluation, I will ask the timer for 1 minute of silence, and then I will bring up the next contestant. Once all contestants have finished speaking, I will ask for silence from everyone until all the ballots have been collected by the chief judge. Real background here, it comes on stage. All right, let's see. Disqualifications and protests. You will be disqualified for time automatically if you are under 1 minute 30 seconds or over 3 minutes 30 seconds. Timing is going to begin, as I said, that first verbal or nonverbal communication with the audience. At the end of your evaluation, I will actually ask if it's possible, make some quick, short closing comment, maybe just something as simple as, back to you, contest master. This is going to signify for the timer that you are truly done with your presentation. I say this because I've been the timer several times. I thought the speaker was done. They looked down, they were quiet. The words that they use seem to have a very logical ending, but then they all of a sudden started talking again. I would love it if we have no confusion for the timers on your actual end for your presentation. Once all of the ballots have been collected and I receive notification from our chief judge, I will welcome all of you back to the stage again. For those of you online, I will ask that you be spotlighted. You will each be presented with a certificate of participation and be asked what club that you are representing in that level contest. And then I'll ask each one of you one or two more questions. Think of this as an interview table topics style. The results for the evaluation contest, they will be announced at the end of the contest. Unlike the international where they have to wait, international contest is in the afternoon. Results are not given until the Hall of Fame the evening of. Eligibility. To be eligible to compete in any official Toastmasters speech contest, you must be a paid member of a club in the area, division, and district in which you are competing. Your club must also be in good standing. You need to maintain eligibility at all levels of the contest. If at any time or any level is determined that a contestant was ineligible to compete at any previous level, the contestant must be disqualified, even if it was discovered at a later level and had since been corrected. I don't believe anyone has any of those issues. All of you have returned the speaker's certificate of eligibility and originality, and you have all been deemed eligible to compete, meaning you are a paid member in a club in good standing, meaning the club has paid a minimum of 8 memberships. Disqualifications and protests. I know I mentioned that before, but now I'm really getting to it. Disqualifications can happen for several different reasons. Eligibility, which I just spoke about, originality, references to another contestant and or their speech, timing, which we talked about, and if you as the contestant missed that contestant briefing. Only contestants in that specific contest, so only you in the evaluation speech contest as well as the judges are actually able to lodge a protest. So if there is an issue, you want to lodge a protest, come and talk to me as soon as possible. I'll inform the chief judge. Once the contest has been adjourned, there are no further protests that will be accepted. We need to get any protests lodged before any winners are announced, before the contest is adjourned. Protests are limited to eligibility, originality, and references to another contestant or their speech. Timing is an automatic disqualification if you go over or under. I've already talked about eligibility. We've already reviewed everyone. We're set to go on that. Originality. This is unusual and it would probably be very, very rare if it were to happen in an evaluation contest, but I suppose that it could. If you feel that more, and again, it's only going to be those subsequent contestants who could do this, but if the originality for the speaker, if more than 25% of that speaker's content is plagiarized or it's not original to the speaker, or the sources are not being cited, a protest could be lodged on the originality. And it is in regards to the original content of the speaker, not that, hey, I heard that from this speaker last month. It's still original to that speaker. If there is a protest, the chief judge will investigate. Chief judge, she will talk with the person lodging the protest to get a little bit more information, make a determination if all of the players, so the contestant who it's in regards to and all the judges, if they need to be brought together for a discussion. If that happens, then Judy, the chief judge, will walk you through that process. I mentioned briefly that if you miss the contestant briefing, so you're getting majority of the briefing here at this time. If you are running late for some reason and you are not in the building, especially with the in-person contestants, if you are not there to pick or your drawing order, you miss any of the last minute comments, questions, concerns, or issues. If you still arrive before I am actually introduced at the contest itself, you can still compete. We've got all of your paperwork ready to go, as long as you say and understand that you will not have any of that briefing information. If, however, that we get through the in-person briefing, our contest MC, the master host, gives the introduction of me as the contest toastmaster, and you have not yet arrived, and then you arrive about 10, 15, 20 seconds later, or 5, 6, 7 minutes later, you will not be eligible to compete. So just letting you know about that. Let's see, what else? If you are competing online and you should lose connection during your speech, rejoin the Zoom meeting as soon as possible. Your time will stop when we notice that you have disconnected, and when you come back in, we will restart your timing. You should begin speaking where you left off. You do not get to restart your speech unless if it was something that happened within about the first 15, 20 seconds, it would make sense. Just start it over. I've already talked with our chief judge about it, and that would be allowed. If it should take you more than 3 minutes to reconnect, we are going to continue the contest with the next contestant. And then when you join back into the contest, you will slip into the next speaker slot. You will not automatically be moved to the last speaking slot. I know that that has been a concern that's been brought up in the past. The last little bit that I want to review with you is the judging ballot. You've probably heard this at all the prior levels, but I want to make sure that you understand the criteria that you will be judged on for your evaluation presentation. Every contest has their own judging criteria, has their own ballot. I've emailed you the ballot. On the front of the ballot, you have a breakdown of each section, and then the back side has a description talking a little bit more about each of the different areas. Your evaluation judging criteria. 40% of your score, or 40 points, is about the analytical quality of your evaluation. 30 points for the recommendations. 15 points on your technique, and 15 points also for your summation. So what does that actually mean? In the analytical section, this is where the judge is going to be looking at your effectiveness. Did you analyze the strengths and weaknesses of the speaker's presentation? The judge is going to look, are you being clear and logical with your response? Were your comments clear and logical? Was the organization of your evaluation easy to follow? Did you state it? Okay, I'm using that sandwich method, something good that you start with, areas for improvement, then ending with something good. And they're also looking for something specific. Did you provide specific examples? Words, organization, vocal variety, gesture, staging. Did you provide something specific that the speaker used? You want to prove that you listened to this test speaker today. The recommendations section. This is where the judge is going to be looking for strengths and improvements that you are discussing. Did you, as the evaluator, recognize and reinforce the speaker's effective qualities by identifying them? Were the suggestions that you give, were they realistically something the speaker could use next time? Did you, as the evaluator, did you provide ideas and demonstrate how to implement those suggestions and ideas for the speaker to make it better the next time? And as the evaluator, did you give your suggestions in a manner that was motivating and enthusiastic? Technique is where the judges are going to listen to the manner in which you're speaking. Sympathetic, sensitivity, and motivational. Did you, as the evaluator, show empathy toward the speaker? Were you, as the evaluator, sensitive to the content of the speech while delivering your feedback, but you don't give your own story. And then as the evaluator, did you inspire, did you encourage the speaker in the future to come back again? The last section is the summation or your conclusion. Did you summarize your comments and suggestions that you've given throughout your evaluation? Was there a point for them to grow on? And did you make the speaker feel motivated to speak again? A little bit different, but it is similar to that technique for the motivation, but you're repeating it again in that summation. It seems like a lot of detail that you need to cover in that 2 to 3 minutes. This is why you actually have that 5 minutes to prepare. Knowing what is on that ballot is going to be helpful for you. That's how you may want to think about how you organize your thoughts for the evaluation, because you want to make sure that you are hitting on all the points of what you are being judged on for that day. I want to thank you for your time to watch this video today. Hopefully, you're going to be a little bit better prepared going into the evaluation contest on April 26th. Be sure to bring your questions to the in-person briefing. You can try emailing me. I do not know how much I will be online in this next week. I'm actually out of state. Most of the time, I will be in an area that has zero connection. I am going off grid. When you do pick up your program guide at registration on Friday, the final times and locations, everything's going to be printed into that agenda. But as of right now, this is the agenda timing that I'm aware of. Check-in at registration begins at 4 p.m. There is an evaluation contest prep that is scheduled from 5:30 to 6:30. This prep time is specific for you to practice walking on the stage, find out where all those squeaky spots are. You'll get hooked up to the microphone, and the AV guys are going to test the microphone and the audio levels for you. The actual actually physically in person or online, that briefing is scheduled to start at 6:30. This is where we're going to draw our speaking order. I'm going to reconfirm the pronunciation of everyone's name and answer any questions that you may have. Contest is scheduled to begin at 7 o'clock and conclude by 8:15. Darren LaCroix is scheduled to begin at 8:30 with his comedy routine for our Friday fun night. I wish each and every one of you lots of fun, lots of success, and I will see you on Friday the 26th. Take care. Have a good night.